The gravy hit Isaiah like a slap from hell, warm, lumpy, and reeking of betrayal, soaking through his starched white shirt in an instant. "You think you're good enough for my boy?" Evelyn hissed, her voice a venomous whisper that sliced through the clink of silverware like a knife through butter. In that frozen heartbeat, as the room erupted in gasps, Adrian's world cracked open, spilling out every buried secret of love, hate, and the American dream they'd both chased from opposite ends of the tracks. Isaiah Washington had always known love could be a battlefield, but nothing prepared him for the war that erupted over a Thanksgiving turkey in suburban Cincinnati. It was the kind of crisp November evening where the Ohio River fog rolled in like a bad omen, clinging to the windows of Evelyn Hargrove's meticulously decorated colonial home on Elmwood Drive. Isaiah, 28 and fresh off a grueling shift at the ER, where he'd stitched up knife wounds and soothed fevered kids, had ironed his shirt twice that morning. He wanted to look right, polished, unassailable for Adrian's sake. Adrian Hargrove, the golden boy with the easy smile and the architecture degree from Ohio State, who'd swept into Isaiah's life like a summer storm 2 years back at a pride rally in Columbus. They'd met under rainbow flags whipping in the wind, Adrian's laugh cutting through the chants like sunlight. Isaiah, nursing a bruised heart from a ghosting ex, had been there handing out water bottles for the medic's tent. Adrian, volunteering as a marshal, had bumped into him literally, spilling a cooler of iced teas. "Shit. Sorry. Doc," he'd grinned, those hazel eyes crinkling with genuine apology. Isaiah had wiped the spill from his scrubs, but the warmth in Adrian's gaze stuck. By midnight, they were tangled in the back of Adrian's beat-up Jeep Cherokee, fogging up the windows with breaths that tasted like freedom and cheap beer. "Your trouble," Isaiah had murmured against Adrian's neck, and Adrian had pulled him closer. The best kind. That night marked the start of something fierce. Late-night drives along the winding Scioto River, where they'd park and talk about everything. Isaiah's dreams of opening a free clinic in Over the Rhine, the neighborhood where he'd grown up dodging bullets and dreaming bigger. Adrian's sketches of sustainable homes that could house families like Isaiah's, splintered by poverty and pride. Sex was electric, bodies moving like they'd been choreographed by fate. Adrian's hands mapping Isaiah's broad shoulders, Isaiah's lips tracing the tattoos Adrian hid under his button-downs, relics from a rebellious phase in art school. But it was the quiet moments that hooked Isaiah deepest. Adrian's head on his chest after a shift, whispering, "You're my anchor. Don't ever let go." Evelyn Hargrove loomed like a shadow from the jump. Adrian's mom, a real estate agent with a bleach-blonde bob and a smile sharp as a closing contract, had sized Isaiah up the first time they met, at a backyard barbecue that summer, where the air smelled of charcoal and barely veiled judgment. "So, you're the friend Adrian's been raving about," she'd said, her manicured nails digging into her wine glass. Isaiah had nodded, forcing a grin. "Dr. Isaiah Washington, ma'am." "Pleasure." She'd eyed his locks, tied back neatly, and the gold chain with his late father's initials. "Washington. Like the president? How fitting." Adrian had laughed it off later, squeezing Isaiah's thigh under the picnic table. "She's old school. Ignore her." But Isaiah couldn't. He'd grown up in a house where his mom, a single teacher in the projects, preached resilience over resentment. "White folks got their ways. Baby," she'd say, braiding his hair on Sundays. "But you hold your head high. Love who you love, and let God sort the rest." Still, Evelyn's barbs lingered, like the passive-aggressive texts. "Adrian mentioned you're from the city? Must be so vibrant down there." Or the time she'd accidentally forwarded an article about urban decay in Cincinnati's black neighborhoods. Adrian defended him fiercely, but Isaiah saw the toll. The way Adrian's jaw tightened after calls home, the late-night vents about his dad's early death leaving Evelyn to rule the roost with iron-fisted grief. Thanksgiving was supposed to be the olive branch. Adrian had begged, "One dinner is... Show her your family." Isaiah agreed, because love meant showing up, even when your gut screamed run. They drove in from Isaiah's apartment in Mount Auburn, Adrian's hand on Isaiah's knee the whole way, humming along to some old-school R&B on the radio. "It'll be fine," Adrian promised. "Dad would have loved you." He was the soft one. The house was a showcase. Polished oak floors, framed photos of Adrian in Little League and prom with a girl, of course, and Evelyn in pearls, fluttering like a hostess from a Hallmark movie. Uncle Ray and Aunt Linda were there, plus cousins who'd flown in from Cleveland, polite Midwestern stock, passing the mashed potatoes with small talk about the Bengals' losing streak. Isaiah sat beside Adrian, their knees brushing under the damask tablecloth, a secret anchor in the sea of linen napkins. Dinner unfolded like a minefield tiptoed. Evelyn cooed over the stuffing. "Oh, Adrian, you brought the wine? How thoughtful," and asked Isaiah about work with feigned interest. "Saving lives all day? Goodness, I could never handle the stress." Isaiah kept it light. "It's rewarding, ma'am. Seeing folks get back to their families." She nodded, but her eyes flicked to his plate, where he piled on the greens. "Not much of an appetite? We have plenty." Then it happened. As the turkey carved and steamed, conversation turned to Adrian's latest project, a community center design for low-income housing in Walnut Hills. "It's inspired by Isaiah's stories," Adrian said proudly, squeezing his hand under the table. "Bringing green spaces to places that need them most." The room murmured approval, but Evelyn's fork paused mid-air. "Low income? Like welfare projects?" Her voice dripped honeyed concern. Isaiah felt Adrian stiffen. "It's about equity, Mom," Adrian said evenly. "Homes for everyone, not just the suburbs." Evelyn's laugh tinkled like breaking glass. "Equity? Darling, we built this country on hard work, not handouts." Uncle Ray chuckled awkwardly. Aunt Linda stared at her pie. Isaiah's pulse thrummed. He knew the script, the one where history got rewritten over holiday ham. "With respect, Mrs. Hargrove," Isaiah started, voice steady as his scalpel hand. "Hard work's there. But systems, redlining, all that, stack the deck." Her eyes narrowed, lips pursing like she'd sucked a lemon. "Systems? Young man, I sold my first house at 22. No handouts for me." The air thickened, relatives shifting like leaves in a storm. Adrian jumped in. "Mom, drop it. It's Thanksgiving." But Evelyn was a freight train off the rails. She rose, ostensibly for more gravy, but her gaze locked on Isaiah like a target. "You think you belong here? At my table? With my son?" The gravy boat tilted in her grip, and before anyone could blink, splat. Brown sludge cascaded over Isaiah's shirt, splattering his tie, pooling in his lap like spilled blood from a wound no one saw coming. The room exploded. "Mom!" Adrian roared, surging to his feet, chair scraping like a scream. Isaiah sat stunned, the warmth turning cold against his skin, gravy seeping into the fabric of his dignity. Evelyn stood there, boat empty, face a mask of feigned surprise. "Oh dear, clumsy me. It's just gravy, For heaven's sake. But it wasn't just gravy. It was every slur unspoken, every door slammed in Isaiah's ancestors' faces, every other carved into his bones. He met her eyes, saw the triumph flickering there, the small, vicious win of a woman who'd lost her husband to cancer and her illusions to a son who loved beyond her narrow world. Adrian was already yanking napkins, dabbing futilely at Isaiah's chest. I'm so sorry. Jesus, Mom, what the hell? His voice cracked, fury warring with the boy who'd once worshipped her. Isaiah pushed his chair back, standing tall despite the mess. It's fine, he lied, voice even. But inside, something fractured, a trust he'd extended like a bridge, now torched. As he excused himself to the bathroom, the hallway mirror showed a man dripping with more than sauce. Betrayal, in all its sticky glory. He texted his mom, "Dinner's a disaster. Love you." Her reply buzzed instant. "Come home, baby. Real family's waiting." Back in the dining room, voices rose, Adrian's sharp accusations, Evelyn's deflections laced with tears. "I just want what's best for you. He's not like us." The us hung heavy, white and wounded. Isaiah lingered in the doorway, unseen for a beat, heart pounding. This was the hook. Love's fragile thread, snagged on the barbs of blood and bone. And as Adrian turned, eyes pleading, Isaiah wondered if it could hold. The drive back to Mount Auburn was a funeral procession, the Jeep's heater blasting against the chill that had nothing to do with November. Adrian gripped the wheel white-knuckled, jaw set like concrete, while Isaiah stared out at the sodium-lit streets blurring past. Fast food joints glowing like false beacons, corner stores shuttered against the night. The gravy had dried crusty on his shirt, a badge of dishonor he hadn't bothered to change out of. "Talk to me, Adrian finally begged, voice raw at a red light on Vine Street. "Yell, cry, something. Don't ice me out." Isaiah exhaled slow, the city's pulse sinking with his own ragged one. "What do you want me to say? Ade, that your mom's a racist bitch? We both know that." The words landed like punches, but they needed air, 2 years of swallowing barbs for the sake of progress. Adrian winced, accelerating through the green. "She's not. I mean, she is, but it's fear, not hate. Dad dying left her twisted. She loved him so much, and now she's clinging to this white picket bullshit like it's all she has left." He reached for Isaiah's hand, but Isaiah pulled away, the sting too fresh. "Fear? That's what you call dumping Thanksgiving on your black boyfriend because he dares to exist at her table." Isaiah's voice rose, echoing in the cab. "I've been patient, man." Smiled through the side eyes, "The joke's about my neighborhood. But this is crossing into assault territory." Adrian slammed on the brakes at a yellow, tires squealing. "I know, God, I know. I should have seen it coming. She's been texting me for weeks. Who's this Isaiah really? Does he have a record? Like you're some thug off a cop show." Tears glistened in his eyes, streetlights fracturing them like broken glass. "I defended you every time. Told her you're the best thing that's happened to me." Isaiah softened a fraction, the hurt cracking open to let in Adrian's pain. "And I believe you. But defending ain't enough anymore. Where's the line? Ade, when does her fear become your silence?" The light changed. They rolled forward in heavy quiet, the Ohio skyline looming distant, a jagged reminder of bridges burned and built. By the time they pulled into Isaiah's parking lot, a cracked asphalt square behind his brick walk-up, Adrian had parked and killed the engine, turning to face him fully. Don't let her win. Stay with me tonight. We'll figure this out. You and me against the world. Remember, Isaiah searched those hazel depths, seeing the boy who'd sketched their future on napkins. A house with a porch swing, kids someday adopted, surrogacy, whatever fit, dog named after a blues legend. Against the world, he'd echo, kissing Adrian's temple. But tonight, the world felt like Evelyn's dining room, gravy stains and all. He nodded, weary. One night. But we talk tomorrow. Real talk. Inside, the apartment was a sanctuary of sorts. Bookshelves crammed with medical tomes and dog-eared poetry. A fridge humming with leftovers from Isaiah's mama's last visit. They stripped in silence. Adrian peeling off Isaiah's shirt with gentle hands, wincing at the red welts from hot liquid. Shower steam filled the bathroom, water cascading over them like absolution. Adrian soaped Isaiah's back, fingers tracing scars from childhood scraps and ER mishaps. I love you, he whispered, lips brushing Isaiah's shoulder. More than family bullshit. More than anything. Isaiah turned, water sluicing between them, pulling Adrian close. Their kiss was desperate, tongues tangling with the salt of unshed tears. Hands roamed, Adrian's calloused from drafting pencils, Isaiah's steady from sutures, mapping hurt into hunger. They tumbled to the bed, sheets twisting like vines, bodies moving in that familiar rhythm. Slow builds to frantic peaks, gasps echoing off exposed brick. Adrian arched beneath him, whispering Isaiah's name like a prayer, and for a stolen hour, the world shrank to skin and size. Morning cracked gray through blinds, coffee brewing bitter as regret. Over mugs at the Formica table, Adrian laid it out. I'm cutting her off. No more holidays, no more loans for the firm. She crosses that line again. She's out. His voice trembled with resolve, the architect in him drawing blueprints for boundaries. Isaiah sipped, weighing it. You sure? She's your mom. Blood's thick. Not thicker than us. Adrian's hand covered his. Firm. I choose you. Is. Every damn time. Felt like a vow, sealing the rift. They spent the day cocooned. Lazy brunch at a queer cafe in Northside, mimosas fizzing with forgiveness. A hike in Alt Park, leaves crunching underfoot as they talked dreams untainted by drama. Adrian sketched on his tablet, a cabin retreat for just them, far from Cincinnati's grasp. Isaiah laughed, the sound lighter, and stole a kiss under crimson maples. But Evelyn wasn't done. That evening, as they scrolled takeout menus, Adrian's phone buzzed incessant. Texts, voicemails, her number flashing like a warning. He ignored the first few, but curiosity cracked him. Just listen, he muttered, hitting play on speaker. Adrian's voice filled the room first. Last night's fury. How could you? Mom, he's my partner. Evelyn's reply sobbed through static. Partner? Oh, honey, I saw the way you looked at him. Like he's your savior. But he's not. He's using you, your money, your name. I did it for you. Isaiah's stomach nodded. Playing the victim already? Worse came next. A voicemail from Uncle Ray. Voice oily neutral. Adrian, your mom's a wreck. Says Isaiah provoked her. Family first. Kid. Think about it. Then the kicker, a link from Evelyn, forwarded to the group chat. An article, The Hidden Dangers of Interracial Relationships in Modern America, with stats twisted like pretzels. fear-mongering about divorce rates and cultural clashes. Isaiah's photo, stolen from Adrian's Instagram, captioned, "Is this who you want building your life?" Adrian's face drained of color. She went digging. God, this is insane. Isaiah stood, pacing the worn rug. Insane? This is her playbook. Divide and conquer. Memories flooded. His ex, Jamal, dumped after parental pressure, whispering it's not you, it's them, like a cop-out. Isaiah had sworn never again. You gonna let her poison this? No! Adrian surged up, grabbing his phone. He typed furious, thumbs flying, "Stop. This ends now. I love Isaiah. Deal with it or lose me. Send." Then, to the family chat, "Back off. Isaiah's family. Period." Silence fell. Phones dark. Relief washed tentative, and they collapsed onto the couch. Adrian's head in Isaiah's lap. "We're good," Isaiah murmured, fingers combing through Adrian's curls. But doubt lingered, a shadow at the edges. Weeks blurred into fragile normalcy. Christmas loomed, but they opted out, road trip to Chicago instead, windy city lights mirroring their spark. Snow dusted the magnificent mile as they window shopped, Adrian buying Isaiah a leather jacket to replace the gravy one. Laughter echoed in jazz clubs, bodies swaying close. In a Lakeview B&B, they made love by firelight. Adrian's whispers fierce, "You're my forever." No one changes that. Back home, Isaiah threw himself into work, shifts blurring into advocacy, pitching his clinic to donors at holiday galas. Adrian landed a contract for eco-homes in Bond Hill, crediting Isaiah in the pitch. "My partner sees the heart of this city." Pride swelled, eclipsing old wounds. But betrayal bruised slow. New Year's Eve. A call from Aunt Linda. "Evelyn's in the hospital. Heart scare. She wants to see you, Adrian." And, "Isaiah, if you're there." Adrian froze mid-champagne pour. "What, now?" "She's asking forgiveness. Says the gravy was rock bottom." Isaiah's gut twisted, hope and suspicion warring. "Trap? Or redemption?" Adrian countered, eyes pleading. "One visit. For closure. Against better judgment." They went. Hospital sterile. Beeps a grim chorus. Evelyn lay pale in her gown, for dripping, eyes red-rimmed. "Boys," she croaked, spotting them. Adrian rushed to her side. Isaiah hung back, arms crossed. "I'm sorry," she gasped, clutching Adrian's hand. "For everything. The fear. Date me. After your dad, I built walls. But seeing you happy, with Isaiah, it broke me open." Adrian softened, tears spilling. "Mom," she turned to Isaiah, gaze steady. "I was wrong. Cruel. Forgive me." The room held breath. Isaiah stepped forward, heart a drum. "Words are cheap, Mrs. Hargrove. But actions? Show me." She nodded weak. "I will. Therapy. Change." They left with cautious peace, Evelyn's promise a tentative thread. For a month, it held, awkward lunches, her questions genuine. "Tell me about your mama, Isaiah." Stories flowed, bridges mending inch by inch. Spring bloomed, cherry trees pink along the river. Adrian proposed under them, ring simple, silver with a sapphire, on one knee in the grass. "Marry me. Build that life." Tears blurred Isaiah's yes. their kiss sealing it amid petals falling like confetti. But Evelyn's change cracked under pressure. At a family wedding in May, Adrian's cousin's big day in Dayton, she cornered Isaiah by the punch bowl, breath wine-sweet. "He's slumming it with you, you know. My boy deserves better." The words slithered, undoing months. Isaiah excused himself, found Adrian on the dance floor, pulled him aside. "She's at it again." Adrian's face fell. "What? No. Believe me now?" Isaiah's voice broke. "Or is blood still thicker?" Adrian stormed to her, confrontation exploding in whispers. But later, in the hotel room, he confessed, she swore she changed. "I wanted to believe." Isaiah packed his bag. "I can't keep fighting ghosts. Ade. Choose." Adrian begged. But Isaiah walked, door clicking shut like a scalpel snick. Summer scorched Cincinnati like a fever dream, humidity clinging to skin like unspoken regrets. Isaiah threw himself into the clinic grind, the free health outpost he'd bootstrapped in a strip mall off Reading Road. It was his baby, flu shots for factory workers, prenatal checkups for single moms, therapy referrals for vets haunted by Baghdad. Patients called him Doc I, their gratitude a balm against the ache Adrian left behind. Nights, though, the apartment echoed empty, bed cold without that tangle of limbs. He'd scroll their old texts, miss your smile, and hit delete, one by one, until his phone felt lighter, but his chest didn't. Adrian, meanwhile, drowned in blueprints and bourbon. The firm boomed, his designs winning nods from the mayor's office, but success tasted like ash. He'd drive by Isaiah's building on impulse, Jeep idling curbside, watching shadows flicker in windows that weren't his anymore. Evelyn hovered, her recovery a performance. AA meetings attended, apologies emailed, but her eyes still appraised Isaiah's absence like a victory. "You'll find someone suitable," she'd say over coffee, patting his hand. Adrian recoiled. "Stop. This is your fault." Her denial was a wall. "I tried." He walked away. "You pushed him." Adrian's voice echoed in her kitchen, the same one where gravy had boiled. Fights escalated, him accusing her of sabotage, her weeping about lost sons. Uncle Ray mediated, siding subtle with blood. "Give her time, kid. Family heals." But Adrian sought his own mending. Therapy in Clifton, a nondescript office with ferns and Freud on the walls. "My mom's a homophobe wrapped in a racist bow," he vented week one, the shrink nodding sage. "And I let it fracture my relationship." Sessions peeled layers. Guilt over his dad's death, pressure to be the perfect son, fear that loving Isaiah meant losing his roots. "I chose wrong," he admitted by July, tears soaking his collar. "But can I fix it?" The therapist's words stuck. "Repair starts with accountability." To him, "And yourself." Adrian tried. Flowers delivered to the clinic, roses red as regret, card reading "I'm sorry." Coffee? Isaiah tossed them, petals wilting in the trash like his resolve. Then letters, handwritten on linen paper, pages of memories, the Pride Night spark, river drives, that Chicago snow where they'd vowed eternity. "I see her poison now. Cut her off for good. Come back." Isaiah read them in the park, tears blurring ink, but pride held firm. "Not yet," he texted once, terse. "Prove it." Evelyn escalated, desperation sharpening her claws. She cornered Adrian at work one sweltering afternoon, showing up unannounced with takeout from his favorite deli. "We need to talk." son. In the conference room, over pastrami sandwiches, she played her ace. I hired a PI. On Isaiah. Adrian choked on rye. What the fuck? Mom. Just to protect you. She slid a folder across the glass table. Photos. Reports. Isaiah at a bar with colleagues. Laughing. Clinic records. How? A grainy shot of him hugging an ex at a funeral last year. See? He's got baggage. That Jamal? Still texts him late nights. Lies, twisted truth. Jamal was a friend. Grief shared. But doubt wormed in. Adrian's insecurities blooming ugly. You spied on him? That's low. Even for you. For you. Evelyn pressed. Eyes manic. He'll leave you broke. Heartless. Like your father left me. The manipulation landed. Guilt a hook in his gut. That night, Adrian drank alone. Folder open on the bar top. Text to Isaiah went unread. Calls straight to voicemail. Paranoia festered. What if she was right? What if love was just a pretty lie? Betrayal crested at the clinic's grand opening in August. A block party under strung lights and food trucks. Isaiah, in a fresh button-down, ribbon-cut the doors with council members and donors. His smile genuine amid the crowd. Music thumped. Motown remixes pulsing bass, and folks danced on the pavement, kids getting free checkups inside. Adrian arrived late, uninvited, folder clutched like a shield. He found Isaiah by the grill, chatting with a nurse, laughter easy. Adrian called, voice slicing through the din. Heads turned. Isaiah's face shuddered. Not here. Ade. Adrian thrust the folder forward. Your ex. Jamal. She's right, you're hiding shit. Isaiah snatched it, flipping pages, disgust curling his lip. This? Your mama's wet dream. Jamal's gay married. Idiot. That was his husband's funeral. He shoved it back. Voice low thunder. You believe her? After everything. The crowd hushed, sensing storm. Adrian faltered. Regret instant. I don't know. She said. She's poison. Isaiah exploded, drawing stares. And you're drinking it down. Get out. Adrian grabbed his arm. Please. Let's talk. Isaiah wrenched free, eyes blazing. Talk? You spied. Like her. We're done. Security. Volunteer off-duty cops. Edged closer. Adrian backed off, folder fluttering to the asphalt like fallen leaves. He drove home reeling, confronting Evelyn at dawn. You lied. Twisted everything. Her tears flowed crocodile. I only wanted. You wanted him gone. Adrian roared, packing a duffel. I'm out. Don't call. He crashed at a buddy's in Hyde Park, a loft overlooking the zoo, nights sleepless with what-ifs. Work suffered, deadlines missed, sketches half-finished. Friends staged an intervention over beers at Rheingeist Brewery. Dude, fight for him. Or let go. Adrian chose fight. September brought cooler air, leaves turning like pages. He audited Evelyn's evidence, debunking each lie with calls and checks. Jamal confirmed, brother's solid. Tell him I said hi. Adrian wrote the real apology, 50 pages, bound like a thesis. I failed you. Let me earn trust. Delivered by hand to the clinic. Isaiah accepted it, unread. Time. Ade. Real time. Months ground on. Autumn fading to winter's bite. Adrian volunteered at the clinic, anonymous at first, stocking shelves, then revealing himself, sleeves rolled, sweat on brow. Isaiah watched wary, but nods turned to brief chats. Weather, patience, the Bengals' slim playoff hopes. Evelyn, isolated, unraveled. Calls to Adrian went to blocks. Family whispered her decline. In December, a stroke felled her, mild, but a wake-up. Hospital bed again. She FaceTimed him, gaunt and genuine. I ruined it all. For love, stupid pride. Adrian visited. Boundaries iron. Change or nothing. She enrolled in diversity workshops. Read Baldwin and Coates. Her book club turning activist. Letters arrived for Isaiah, halting, honest. I was scared of losing him to a world I didn't understand. Forgive an old fool? Isaiah burned the first, kept the second. Over eggnog at a holiday mixer, he told Adrian, she's trying. But you gotta heal your own scars. Adrian nodded, hope flickering. I'm in therapy. Every week. For us. New Year's dawned crisp. Fireworks popping over the river. They met at their spot, the Scioto Overlook. Jeep parked. Blankets spread. No rings. No promises, just truth. I miss you, Adrian said, voice cracking. Isaiah leaned in, foreheads touching. Missed you too. But trusts earned slow. Kisses followed. Tentative then torrent. Hands rediscovering paths. Not reconciliation full, but a spark rekindled, fragile, fierce. Spring teased renewal. Dogwoods blooming defiant. Adrian's designs incorporated Isaiah's input. Clinics in every build. Green spaces for healing. Evelyn attended their casual dinner, first post-gravy, at a soul food spot in the West End. Her apologies verbal, vulnerable. I see you now, Isaiah. Both of you. Beautiful. Awkward laughs bridged gaps. Toasts clinked to second chances. But undercurrents swirled. Evelyn's gaze lingering. Adrian's hand squeezing Isaiah's tighter. Climax brewed in June. Pride Month heat wave. The rally in Columbus swelled massive. Crowds rainbow-drenched. Isaiah and Adrian marched hand in hand. Signs high, love wins, no exceptions. Evelyn showed, unannounced, rainbow pin on her lapel, face painted with stripes. Thought I'd join, she said shyly, falling in step. Isaiah tensed, Adrian beamed. The parade pulsed, drag queens on floats, bands blaring Gaga, cheers for every queer face. But midway, counter-protesters jeered from sidewalks, slurs hurled, faggots and go home, a knot of MAGA hats spitting vitriol. Evelyn faltered, color draining. Adrian, keep walking, he urged, arm around her now, Isaiah on the other side. A bottle sailed, soda, not glass, splashing her blouse. Jeers peaked. Traitor bitch! She froze. Echoes of her own past venom crashing back. Adrian shielded her. Isaiah faced the crowd. Voice steady. Hates loud, but loves louder. Back off. Cops dispersed them, but the damage lingered. Back at the car. Evelyn broke, sobs racking, apologies tumbling. I bred this. My words. They echo. Isaiah, surprising himself, hugged her. Echoes fade. Actions echo louder. The moment bonded them, fractures mending in shared vulnerability. Adrian watched, tears proud, as his worlds collided and cohered. July's fireflies danced like errant stars over Fountain Square, where Isaiah and Adrian hosted their engagement party. A low-key affair in the pavilion, string lights twinkling against the heat. 50 souls turned out, Clinic staffers with potluck ribs, Adrian's cousins bearing craft brews, Isaiah's mama in a sundress, her braids crowned with jasmine, toasting to loves that conquer. Evelyn arrived last, bearing a cake she'd baked, chocolate layered, iced with family forged, her hands trembling as she set it down. No spills this time, just a nod to Isaiah. I soft. I followed the recipe. No shortcuts. Laughter rippled, easing old tensions. The night unfolded magic. Speeches slurred sentimental. Isaiah's best friend toasting their bulletproof bond. Adrian's old college roommate ribbing about Jeep hookups. They danced under the stars. Adrian twirling Isaiah slow to Al Green. Bodies sinking like puzzle pieces finally clicked. Evelyn watched from a bench, nursing Seltzer. Her transformation a quiet miracle. Workshops turned to volunteering at the clinic. Reading lists devoured. Even a blog started. A mother's reckoning. Anonymous posts on unlearning bias. But beneath the joy, fissures lingered. Adrian confided in therapy. It's good, but I wait for the shoe to drop. Like she'll revert. The shrink probed. And you? Forgiven yourself. Adrian journaled nights. Pages filling with I chose fear once. Never again. Isaiah, too, wrestled shadows. At the ER, patient, a young gay kid, beaten by family, mirrored his scars. They'll come around. Doc? The boy asked, stitches fresh. Isaiah squeezed his hand. Some do. Fight for those who will. Steeled him, but doubts nagged. Was Evelyn's change skin deep? Adrian's loyalty absolute? August brought the storm literal and lit. A thunderstorm ripped through the Midwest, flooding the clinic basement, water lapping at exam tables. Isaiah rallied volunteers. Adrian showed at dawn, waiters on, hauling boxes. Evelyn arrived too, unprompted, in rubber boots, mopping floors with a vengeance. Can't let your dream drown, she grunted, passing Isaiah a mop. Their eyes met, gratitude unforced. By noon, sun broke through, rainbows arching over puddles. Sign, Adrian joked, kissing Isaiah's temple. Yet betrayal's ghost stirred. A letter arrived for Adrian, anonymous, postmarked local, from a concerned friend. Inside, photos of Isaiah at a bar last month. Arm around a colleague, hug. Not flirt. Whispers of debts, from clinic startup, loans. Legit. Attached note. He's playing you. Run. Adrian's blood iced. Evelyn's old tricks? He confronted her that evening. Letter slapped on her kitchen counter. This you? She blanched, hands fluttering. Adrian. Yes. But hear me. Sobs cracked her voice. I relapsed. After the flood, seeing you two so strong. Jealousy hit. Hired that PI again. Stupid. Scared. Rage boiled Adrian white-hot. After everything, the workshops, the cake, you're the same poison. I know. She collapsed into a chair, face crumpling. Therapy's hard. Unlearning 50 years. I slipped. But I'm owning it. Fire the PI. Delete the files. And I'll step back. Give you space. He stormed out, driving aimless to Isaiah's. Poured it all over midnight coffee. The letter, her confession. I defended her. Again. Isaiah listened, fury simmering but measured. This is the test. Ade. Cut the cord for real, or it'll strangle us. Adrian nodded, dialing her on speaker. Mom, we're done. No contact. Heal alone. Click. Silence heavy. Then release. Adrian's shoulders slumping. Free. Isaiah pulled him close. Proud of you. Their lovemaking that night was reclamation. Slow. Sacred. Bodies affirming what words couldn't. Fall painted the city gold. Wedding plans unfolding like leaves. Venue. A vineyard outside Dayton. Vines heavy with promise. Suits tailored. Isaiah's charcoal with a Kent pocket square. Adrian's navy simple. Invites went wide. Even to Evelyn, conditional. Observe from afar. No drama. She accepted. RSVP terse. Understood. Blessings. November circled back. Thanksgiving redux. They hosted. Isaiah's mama in the kitchen. Cornbread scenting the air. Adrian's cousins at cards. Banter light. No Elmwood Drive ghosts. Just chosen family. Table groaning with turkey and tofurkey. Laughter drowning old echoes. Evelyn sent a card. Grateful for your light. From the shadows. Loving you. Adrian read it aloud. Tears pricking. She's trying. Isaiah squeezed his hand. We are too. Climax crested on a frosty December eve. Wedding eve. Rehearsal dinner at a loft in the banks. River glittering below. Guests mingled. Queer elders sharing stories. Straight allies toasting progress. Evelyn arrived fashionably late. Elegant in burgundy. Hugging Isaiah tentative. You look happy, she whispered. I am. His smile held no barbs. But fate's cruel mid-toasts. A call. Uncle Ray. Voice shaking. Evelyn? Car accident. En route. Bad. Chaos erupted. Adrian bolted. Isaiah driving. Hospital lights blurring in wipers. ER waiting room. Sterile purgatory. Coffee vending stale. Ray arrived. Grim. Drunk driver. She's critical, internal bleeding. Adrian paced. Prayers muttered. Isaiah held him. Anchor steady. Hours crawled. Surgeon emerged at dawn. Stable. But coma. Could be weeks. They filed in. Evelyn pale under tubes. Monitors beeping life's fragile tune. Adrian gripped her hand. Fight, Mom. We need you whole. Isaiah stood back. Conflict churning. Pity for the woman. Wariness of the witch. But seeing Adrian's raw grief cracked him open. He stepped forward, touching her cool fingers. Hang in, Evelyn. Redemption's a journey. Days blurred. Vigils at bedside. Adrian splitting time between work and waits. Isaiah covered shifts. Cooked meals. Whispered encouragements. Evelyn stirred on Christmas Eve. Eyes fluttering. Voice rasp. Adrian. Isaiah. We're here. Adrian's tears fell free. She squeezed weak. Sorry. Again. Love. You both. Words hung. A final unburdening. Recovery loomed long, rehab. Therapy doubled, but the door cracked wider. January thawed to wedding day. Vineyard dusted frost. Heaters humming. Vows exchanged under arches. Isaiah steady. You taught me love's a verb active. Fierce. I choose you. Always. Adrian's choked. You saved me from myself. My heart. My home. Kiss sealed. Cheers erupted. Evelyn watched from front row, Walker aside. Eyes shining. Post-ceremony. She approached slow. Beautiful. To Isaiah. Thank you. For giving me a son back. He hugged her. Brief but real. Families made. Not born. The reception swirled joy. Dances wild. Cake cut. No gravy jokes. toasts to futures bright. Spring unfurled verdant, the newlyweds settling into a fixer-upper in Oakley. A craftsman with creaky floors and porch potential. Adrian's sketches turning vision to walls. Mornings dawned coffee-scented. Isaiah reviewing charts while Adrian drafted at the island, their feet tangled under stools. Normal felt revolutionary, no tiptoeing around taboos, just love lived loud. Weekends meant brunches at Terry's Turf Club, burgers greasy and grins wider, hikes in Shawnee State Forest, where they'd pitch a tent and stargaze, Adrian tracing constellations on Isaiah's chest. The clinic thrived. Grants flowing after a feature in the Inquirer. Doc Washington's Haven. Healing Cincinnati's Heart. Isaiah keynote at conferences. Voice carrying stories of resilience. His own woven subtle. Adrian's firm greenlit a series of Isaiah houses. Affordable units with built-in wellness spaces. Plaques crediting the man who showed me home. Evelyn's arc arced upward. Slow but sure. Discharged to assisted living in Blue Ash. She dove deeper, mentoring at a local NAACP chapter. Her blog gaining readers. From Gravy to Grace. Tales of a Bigot's Thaw. Visits were weekly. Coffee at Neutral Ground. A cafe in Kenwood. Her questions evolving from wary to warm. Tell me about wedding planning, she'd ask. Or, how's the house coming? Isaiah answered open. Walls thinning. One afternoon, she gifted him a photo album, Adrian's childhood, plus new prints, their vows, the reception toast. Memories, she said. The good ones. Adrian beamed at the bridge. But therapy kept him grounded. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's choosing peace. Isaiah echoed in his own sessions. I see her humanity now. Flawed. Like us. Summer hummed with milestones. Clinic anniversary bash. A block party redux with bounce houses and blues bands. Evelyn volunteered. Serving punch without spill. Chatting with moms whose kids Isaiah had treated. A young dad approached her. My boy's trans. Scared as hell. She listened. Shared. I was scared too. But love, it expands. Isaiah overheard. Chest tight with unexpected pride. Yet humanism's core tests in trials. September brought Isaiah's diagnosis. Testicular cancer. Caught early during routine check. The ER doc in him recited odds calm. 95% survival. Surgery swift. But the man? He shattered in Adrian's arms that night. Sobs muffled in flannel. What if? Adrian held fierce. You fight. Like always. I'm your warrior. Treatment blurred months. Orchiectomy under bright lights. Chemo rounds that left Isaiah queasy and bald-headed, but never bowed. Adrian shaved his own head solidarity. Grinning in mirrors. Bald and beautiful. Evelyn stepped up unprompted. Driving to infusions. Stocking ginger tea. Reading aloud from her blog drafts. Strengths in the stories, she'd say. Voice steady. Isaiah's mama flew in. Kitchen takeover with gumbo and gospel playlists. Her prayers a rhythm against fear. Friends rallied. Meal trains. Care packages stuffed with get well. Doc socks. The clinic ran on volunteers. Donors poured in. Turning crisis to cause. Remission rang bells in December. Scans clear. Hair fuzzing back. Celebration at the river. Bonfire crackling. Marshmallows toasting golden. Adrian knelt again. Not proposal but promise. We beat this. Together. Isaiah pulled him up. Kiss smoky sweet. Always. Evelyn's health faltered parallel. Strokes echo in a fall. Hip fractured. Rehab overlapped Isaiah's recovery. They swap tips over hospital jello, ice packs for the swelling, she'd advise. Her final blog post, posted from bed, love's the ultimate medicine. It mends what hate breaks. She passed gentle in March, spring's first bloom, heart giving out mid-laughter, Adrian at her side. Funeral was Quaker simple. Meeting house in amber light, eulogies honest. Isaiah spoke last. Evelyn taught us redemption's messy, but worth it. Rest well. Adrian grieved open, tears at the grave, but gratitude too. She got there. In the end, they scattered ashes along the Scioto, winds carrying her to peace. Home that night, Adrian sketched her portrait, smiling, gravy boat traded for a rainbow flag. For the wall, he said. Years layered like patina, clinic expanded to satellite sites, Isaiah's TEDx talk going viral, healing wounds seen and unseen. Adrian's designs reshaped skylines, sustainable spires honoring lost loves. They adopted twin boys from foster care, Jamal and Ray after uncles real and imagined. Nursery painted blues and greens, lullabies hummed low. Pride rallies became family tradition. Kids in wagons, signs wagging love is love. Evelyn's pin passed to the eldest, a talisman. One Thanksgiving, 10 years post-gravy, they gathered round a table groaning abundance. Isaiah's mama's yams, Adrian's vegan stuffing, boys giggling over pie. Toasts circled, to survivors, to Sakan's chances, to loves that endure. Isaiah raised his glass. Eyes on Adrian, still hazel sparkled, curls silver-threaded. To us, the shock that healed. Adrian clinked, kiss following. And what came next? Everything. In the American tapestry, frayed, fierce they wove their thread, gay, interracial, redeemed. Not perfect, but profoundly human. Love's gravy, after all, washes clean.